Today we're going to be looking at a webinar regarding email called Managing the Email Avalanche. Communicates information. The ability to send emails from anywhere to anyone at the push of a button has reduced communicating key information from days down to minutes. This improvement in communication speed has brought with it many benefits, but also many issues, especially once email moved from being a simple means of messaging to being legally binding. So before we start to look at an email management solution, I'm just going to take you through an overview of a typical email environment. So there would be an email server, so something like MX Exchange server, which would be used to store and then forward on those emails. The email server would require some form of storage, whether that be an in-house physical server or a virtual server. And then an email client, such as Outlook, to be able to read and then send those emails. So an email management tool enables you to file or manage your emails better, to hopefully make your emails more efficient and be able to search and find the emails that you require quicker. So the three areas we'll be looking at today are storage, email management solution, and then searching. We're just going to go through some sort of email usage statistics for professional service organisations within the construction industry. So staff spend on average 1 to 2 hours a day reading, writing and organising emails. Now this is a large proportion of the day, so any sort of mechanism that can help streamline the sort of organising of those emails is going to help reduce that sort of time. On average, staff send or receive 25 emails per day. So for an organisation of 100 staff, this is 650,000 emails a year. The average email size for the construction industry is 350 kilobytes. Again, for a company of 100 staff, this is 222 gigabytes of email annually. So these are quite large numbers for both storage and the sheer number of emails going in and coming out. So look at that pictorially. This gives you an idea of practice size across the bottom. And for the y-axis, the size of space required to manage or look after that annual storage requirement. Okay, so looking at storage, two types of server really. So either an in-house physical server, which has either an internal hard disk or is attached to some sort of network storage. And this tends to be the most common form of in-house server. It's managed internally, but the problem is any type of upsizing of either disk space or resourcing requires some downtime as it has to be managed and sort of worked in. A second type of server is a virtual server, which is what people are tending to move to. And again, this requires either an in-house physical server, which the virtual server then sits on top of. But again, it's much easier to control that resource for either disk space or CPU usage. And then the final type of virtual server is a cloud service, whereby the actual virtual server is managed externally. So from backups to resourcing requirements are all done externally. Another ongoing issue is with long-term storage. So this is the method in which the email information is stored. So whether these be individual email files such as Outlook's MSG, EML or even as a PDF. Now this is what most standard email management solutions do to enable and to ensure that there's no single point of failure. Emails can be embedded within a database such as SQL Server or stored within a singular email server such as Microsoft Exchange Server, and especially when using public folders. Another issue is also long-term storage of attachments within those emails. They may be in formats that in 10-15 years will not be readable. So what is the purpose of email management? So it's to ensure high availability of email information. So emails are stored against projects or contacts and are then available to all the project team to access. So improve search capability. So not only can you search the email itself, but also the attachments, whether they be Word files or CAD information. And again, due to the fact that a lot of the times the email information is stored or the metadata is stored within a database, this improves the speed of searches, whether you're searching 10 emails or 1 million emails. Improved disaster recovery and improved storage of email information. So having the email stored as individual files outside of your email server ensures there's no single point of failure. Improved email traceability and auditing. Being able to capture when somebody opens up an email or looks at an email enables you to trace and then be able to audit those emails. And then finally, increased to improve scalability.
So now we're going to look at an email management solution using Rapport3's Gecko. So I'm currently in Outlook, and the way that Gecko works is it provides a project Dropbox for every project that you're part of the team for. So this allows you to then either copy or move emails to that drop folder. And as Gecko is cloud-based, it will then automatically look through these drop folders and copy those emails up to the cloud. Once you're up in the cloud, it checks against any other duplicates, and then it will also then make it available for other users to then see against that particular project. Now, there's a number of ways for those emails to be copied to the drop folders. So I'm just going to scroll down, and you see here we've got a Gecko folder, and within each of the Gecko folder, there's a series of projects. So you've got both the project number and the project name. So admin codes at the top, and then we've got project folders at the bottom. So I could very simply just drag and drop those emails in to a project folder. Or I can actually file them using the Gecko file tool up here. So doing it this way, I can select file, and then from here I can choose what it is that I want to file it against. So in this case, marketing. I can then do OK and move, and it will drag that email into the folder, or I can just click OK, in which case it will keep a copy in my inbox. Now, again, it really depends on how you work within your mailbox. So I tend to try and keep my inbox down to a minimum. So once I've actioned the email, I will then move it across into a Gecko project folder. Likewise, when you're then sending an email, if I click on new email and type in an email address and put in a subject, and then when I click on send, the same pop-up box will appear, whereby I can then select the project that I want to file my email against. So in this case, I'm going to file it against in the marketing project. So I've clicked on OK. The email will get sent, and at the bottom of the email, a unique identifier will be added to the or appended to the end of the email for the project number. So if anybody then replies to that email, it will automatically file it against the correct project, which in this case is the marketing one. So I can now go and search the Gecko folder, and to show you how you can have access to that. So the folders obviously we've got here are purely just the emails that I've put into those. Now those emails will automatically go up to the cloud, and if I click on this Gecko tab, it will open up Gecko, and then that will give me access to all of the search criteria, so I can search against any project and any item I want to search against. So it's automatically taking me to the search screen. On the left-hand side here, I've got all of the fields I can search against, and there's two modes. I can either look in simple mode, where I can search against a client or a project and a search text, or I can search against, in this instance, all of the folders and all of the files that I need to look at. So I've got two options. So for example here, if I search for, so I'm now going to search for the email we filed earlier by searching for the subject webinar. So you can see this top email here, CI Marketing Webinar email, is the email that I'd stored against the marketing project folder earlier. So it was able to find it via the subject, or again, if I typed in the body, it would have found it, or dates, sent between dates, and you can even search attachments as well. So this allows you to get access to your emails very quickly, and not only search against your own emails, but also any other emails that staff have tagged against those projects as well. Okay, so that concludes today's webinar on email management.